Hello, we're excited to show you our native speech capabilities. Welcome back to the English journey. Today, we are talking about the things we do every single day. I'm Anna.
And I'm Abel. Daily life can seem boring, but it is actually the most important vocabulary you can learn. Today, we will help you talk about your life with ease.
That is so true, Abel. When you think about it, every single conversation you will ever have in English starts with your daily life. Someone will ask you, what do you do in the morning? What do you eat for breakfast? Where do you work? What do you do after school? These are the first questions people ask when they meet someone new.
Yes, Anna, and I think many students are afraid to answer these questions. They feel like they need very big, very complicated words. But the truth is, you only need simple words. Words like wake up, eat, go, work, come home, and sleep. These small words are very powerful.
Exactly. So today, Abel and I are going to talk about our own daily lives. We will use very simple English. We will speak slowly, and we will explain any word that might be a little difficult. If you are learning English at the A1 or A2 level, this podcast is made just for you.
And here is our very first tip for you. As you listen to us today, I want you to think about your own day. Think about what you do in the morning. Think about what you eat. Think about what you do at school or at work. By the end of this podcast, you will be able to describe your whole day in English.
That is a wonderful idea, Abel. So let us start from the very beginning. Let us start in the morning. Abel, can you tell our listeners what you do when you first wake up in the morning?
Of course. So I wake up at around 6:30 in the morning. I have an alarm clock. The alarm clock makes a loud sound. It wakes me up. When I hear that sound, I do not want to get up. I want to stay in bed. I want to sleep more. I think many of you listening right now understand exactly what I am talking about.
Yes, I think everyone understands that feeling. That feeling of wanting to stay in bed is very human. In English, we have a fun phrase for it. We say we want to sleep in. When you sleep in, it means you sleep later than usual. You do not wake up early. You stay in bed and sleep for a longer time.
I love that phrase. I love to sleep in. But on weekdays, I cannot sleep in. I have to wake up early. So when the alarm clock rings, I turn it off and then I get up. Getting up means you physically leave your bed. Your feet touch the floor. You stand up. You are now awake and you are out of bed.
Abel, do you have a morning routine? A routine is something you do every day in the same order. It is like a habit. It's the same steps every morning.
Yes, I do have a morning routine. After I get up, the first thing I do is go to the bathroom. I wash my face with cold water. The cold water helps me feel more awake. It helps me wake up properly. Then I brush my teeth. Brushing your teeth means you use a toothbrush and toothpaste to clean your teeth. I brush my teeth for about 2 minutes.
That is a very healthy habit. I also brush my teeth first thing in the morning. After that, what do you do?
After I brush my teeth, I take a shower. Taking a shower means you stand under running water and you clean your body. In some countries, people take a shower in the morning. In other countries, people prefer to take a shower at night before they sleep. What about you, Anna? Do you take a shower in the morning or at night?
I take a shower in the morning. I feel like it helps me wake up properly. The water, especially if it's a little cold, makes me feel very fresh and ready for the day. After my shower, I get dressed. Getting dressed means you put on your clothes. I usually prepare my clothes the night before, so in the morning, I already know what I'm going to wear. This saves me time.
That is a very smart idea, Anna. I sometimes spend a lot of time thinking about what to wear in the morning. Maybe I should try your method. Now, after we get dressed, what is the next very important part of the morning? I think our listeners already know the answer.
Breakfast. Breakfast is the first meal of the day. The word break and the word fast are put together. When you sleep, you do not eat for many hours, so you are fasting, which means not eating. When you wake up and eat your first meal, you break that fast. You break your fasting, so we call it breakfast.
I love that explanation, Anna. That's a really interesting way to think about it. So breakfast is the first meal of the day. Abel, what do you usually eat for breakfast?
You said able, but you're able. You asked yourself.
You are right. I got confused for a moment. So let me answer. I usually eat something simple for breakfast. I like to eat eggs. Sometimes I make scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs means you mix the eggs in a pan while they are cooking. The eggs become soft and fluffy. I eat my eggs with bread, and I drink a cup of tea. In many parts of the world, tea is the most popular morning drink.
I agree. Tea is very popular. In my morning, I usually eat a bowl of porridge. Porridge is a warm, soft food made from oats and water or milk. You cook the oats and they become very soft and thick. It is very warm and filling. Filling means it makes you feel full for a long time. I do not feel hungry again for many hours after eating porridge.
That is really healthy, Anna. Now, I want to talk to our listeners for a moment. If you are in India, maybe you eat something completely different for breakfast. Maybe you eat idli, which is a soft, steamed rice cake. Or maybe you eat dosa, which is a thin, crispy crepe made from rice and lentils. Or maybe you eat appam with stew, or puttu with kadala curry. All of these are wonderful breakfasts, and the most important thing is, you can describe them in English.
I love that you mentioned that, Abel. And here is how you can describe your breakfast in English. You can say, for breakfast, I usually eat, and then you say the name of your food. For example, for breakfast, I usually eat putu with banana. Or you can say, every morning, I drink a cup of tea with my breakfast. Simple sentences, easy words, powerful communication.
Perfect. So now we have finished our morning routine. We have woken up, we have washed our face, we have brushed our teeth, we have taken a shower, we have gotten dressed, and we have eaten breakfast. Now it's time to leave the house and go to work or go to school.
And this brings us to a very important word, the word commute. The commute is the journey you make from your home to your place of work or school. When you commute, you travel. How do you commute, Abel?
I commute by bus. Every morning, I walk to the bus stop near my house. A bus stop is the place where the bus picks up passengers. I wait at the bus stop. Sometimes I wait for 5 minutes, sometimes I wait for 15 minutes. It depends on the traffic and the bus schedule. Then the bus arrives, and I get on the bus. I find a seat if there is one available, and then I ride the bus to work.
My commute is a little different. I live closer to my workplace, so I walk. I walk to work. My commute takes about 20 minutes on foot. Walking to work is very good exercise, and it also gives me time to think and to prepare my mind for the day ahead.
That sounds wonderful. Walking is a great way to start the day. Now, for many of our listeners who are students, your commute is to school. You might go to school by school bus or by bicycle, or your parents might take you by car or by motorbike. However you go, you are commuting. You are making the journey from home to your place of learning.
And when you arrive at school, your day really begins. Let us talk about the middle of the day. This is the time when you are at work or at school. Abel, can you describe your work life in simple English?
Yes, I work in an office. An office is a building or a room where people work at desks. At the office, I use a computer. I read emails. An email is a message you send or receive on your computer or your phone. I also attend meetings. A meeting is when a group of people come together to talk about work. In a meeting, we discuss plans, we share ideas, we make decisions.
That is a very good description of office life. For our student listeners, your day at school is similar in some ways. Instead of a meeting, you have a class. A class is when a group of students come together and a teacher teaches them. In class, you listen to the teacher, you read from your textbooks, you write notes in your notebook, you answer questions, and sometimes you work together with your classmates on a project.
Yes, and just like workers get a lunch break at work, students get a lunch break at school. The lunch break is a short time in the middle of the day when you stop working or studying and you eat your lunch. Lunch is the second meal of the day, after breakfast. What do you usually eat for lunch, Anna?
For lunch, I usually eat something light. Light food means food that is not very heavy. It does not make you feel too full or too sleepy. I often eat a salad, which is a mix of vegetables, or I eat rice with some vegetables and a small portion of fish. A portion means a serving, or a specific amount of food. What about you?
I usually eat my lunch at the office canteen. A canteen is a place inside a building, like an office or a school, where you can buy or get food. I eat rice and curry for lunch most days. It gives me energy for the afternoon. Energy is the power you need to work and move and think.
After lunch, you go back to work or back to class. The afternoon is when many people start to feel a little tired, but you have to keep going. You have to continue with your work or your studies, and eventually the day at the office or at school comes to an end.
Yes, my workday usually ends at 5 o'clock in the evening. When work is finished, I commute back home. I take the bus again, but this time I go in the opposite direction. I go from the office back to my house. This is called the evening commute. And many people say the evening commute feels longer than the morning commute, even if it takes the same amount of time.
That is because you are tired at the end of the day. When you are tired, time feels like it passes more slowly. Now, when you get home, there are still things to do. There are household chores. Chores are small jobs that you do at home to keep your house clean and organized. Abel, what are some household chores you do at home?
There are many chores to do at home. Let me list some of them. One very common chore is cooking. Cooking means you prepare food for eating. You use heat to change raw ingredients into a meal. Another chore is washing the dishes. After you eat, the plates, cups, and spoons are dirty. You wash them with soap and water to make them clean again.
Another important chore is doing the laundry. Laundry means your dirty clothes. When you do the laundry, you wash your dirty clothes. You can wash them by hand, or you can use a washing machine. A washing machine is an electrical appliance that washes your clothes for you. After washing, you hang the clothes to dry. Drying means removing the water from the clothes so they are clean and ready to wear again.
There is also sweeping and mopping the floor. Sweeping means you use a broom to collect dust and dirt from the floor. A broom is a long stick with bristles at the bottom. Mopping means you use a wet mop to wash the floor and make it shiny and clean. Many families in India mop their floors every single day, which keeps the house very fresh and clean.
And we cannot forget buying groceries. Groceries are the food and other items you buy from a shop or a market to use at home. When you go to the market or the supermarket, you buy things like vegetables, fruits, rice, oil, and soap. Buying groceries is a very important household task. Someone in every family has to do this regularly to make sure there is always food at home.
I usually go to the market on the way home from work once or twice a week. I buy vegetables and fruits and some other things we need at home. I like going to the local market because the vegetables are fresh. Fresh means they were picked recently and they haven't been sitting for a long time. Fresh vegetables are better for cooking and for your health.
That is lovely, Abel. Now, let us think about how to talk about chores in English. The key is to use simple sentences. You can say, "Every evening, I cook dinner for my family." Or you can say, "My mother washes the dishes after every meal." Or you can say, "We buy groceries every Saturday morning." Small, simple sentences. Do you see how easy that is?
It is very easy when you break it down like that. Now, after all the chores are done, after dinner is eaten and the dishes are washed, it is finally time to relax. This is the part of the day I look forward to the most.
Me too. In English, we say we unwind at the end of the day. To unwind means to relax. Imagine a spring that is coiled up tightly all day because of stress and work. At the end of the day, that spring slowly opens up and becomes loose again. That is what unwinding feels like. Your body and your mind become relaxed and calm.
I love that image. So how do you unwind, Anna? What do you do in the evenings to relax?
I like to read books. Reading is a very calm and peaceful activity. When I read a good book, I forget about all my worries. I enter a different world, the world of the story. I usually read for about 30 minutes before I sleep. What about you, Abel? How do you relax in the evenings?
I love watching television. In English, we often say, I watch TV or I watch a show. A show is a program on television. My favorite shows are nature documentaries. A documentary is a type of film or show that teaches you real facts about the real world. I watch documentaries about animals, about the ocean, and about different countries. I find them very interesting and very relaxing at the same time.
That is wonderful. Many people also like to spend their evenings with their family. Family time is very important. In the evenings, many families eat dinner together. Eating together is a great way to connect. When you eat together, you talk. You share what happened during your day. In English, there's a common question that family members ask each other at dinner. The question is, "How was your day?" And you can answer, "My day was good," or "It was a busy day," or "I had a very interesting day today."
Yes, and for children and young students, the evening is also a time for doing homework. Homework is work that your teacher gives you to complete at home. You do your homework in the evening after school. Many students sit at a desk or at the kitchen table and work on their homework for 1 or 2 hours before dinner or after dinner.
And then, after all of this, the evening comes to an end. It is time for the last part of your daily routine. It is time to get ready for bed. Getting ready for bed means you do the things you do before you sleep. You might brush your teeth again, you might wash your face, you might change into comfortable clothes for sleeping. These sleeping clothes are sometimes called pajamas or nightwear.
And then you get into bed. You lie down, you close your eyes, and you sleep. And while you sleep, your body rests. Your brain processes everything you learned during the day, and you get ready to wake up and do it all again tomorrow. That is the daily routine, from morning to night.
Now, we have talked about weekdays, but what about the weekend? The weekend is Saturday and Sunday in most countries. The weekend is different from weekdays. You do not go to work or school on the weekend, so your daily routine changes.
I love the weekend for exactly that reason. On Saturday morning, I do not set my alarm clock. I let myself sleep in. Remember that phrase? To sleep in means to wake up later than usual. On a typical Saturday, I might not wake up until 8 or even 9 in the morning, and that feels wonderful.
I understand completely. On the weekend, the morning is more relaxed and slower. You do not have to rush. To rush means to do things very quickly because you do not have enough time. On weekdays, you have to rush in the morning, but on weekends, you can take your time. You can sit at the table and eat your breakfast slowly. You can enjoy your cup of tea or coffee.
On Saturdays, I also like to do some of the bigger household chores that I do not have time for during the week. For example, I might clean the bathroom. Cleaning the bathroom means you scrub the sink, the toilet, and the shower or bathtub with cleaning products. It takes more time and energy than just sweeping the floor, so I save it for the weekend when I have more free time.
I also use the weekend for my hobbies. A hobby is an activity you enjoy doing in your free time. It is not work. It is something you do for pleasure and for fun. My hobby is gardening. Gardening means you grow plants and flowers in a garden. I love to water my plants. Watering plants means you pour water on them so they can grow. I also like to plant new seeds and watch them slowly grow over many weeks.
That is such a peaceful hobby, Anna. My hobby is cooking, but in a more relaxed way than the weekday cooking I do just to eat. On weekends, I try new recipes. A recipe is a set of instructions that tells you how to prepare a specific dish. I might try to cook something I've never made before. Sometimes it works out very well, and sometimes it does not. But it's always fun to try.
I love that attitude, Abel. Trying new things is always good. Now, the weekend is also a time for social activities. Social activities are things you do with other people. You might visit your family. You might go out with your friends. You might go to a restaurant for a meal. Or you might go to a movie at the cinema.
In many parts of India, the weekend is also a time for going to the temple or a place of worship. It's a time for community. Community means the group of people who live near you and share your life. On weekends, you see your neighbors, you visit your grandparents, you spend time with the people who are important to you.
That is a beautiful point. And all of these activities, whether you're visiting family, going to the market, cooking a new dish, or gardening, you can describe all of them in English using the simple words and phrases we've been practicing today.
So now, let us talk about something very important. Anna, you called it a super habit earlier. Can you explain what you mean by a super habit for learning English?
Yes, I am so glad you remembered. Here is the super habit. Every day, take 5 minutes to describe your day out loud in English. Just speak to yourself. You can do it in your room, you can do it in the bathroom while you brush your teeth, you can do it while you walk to school or to the bus stop. Just say what you are doing out loud in English.
So, for example, in the morning, you can say, I am brushing my teeth. Now I am getting dressed. I am going to eat breakfast. Today, I am going to have rice and curry. And then you go to school. At school, you can think, now I am in my English class. My teacher is explaining a new lesson. I am writing notes in my notebook.
Yes, exactly like that. This is called a running commentary. You narrate your own life in English. And the reason this is a super habit is because you're always practicing English with the most familiar subject in the world, yourself. You know everything about your own life. You are the expert on your own daily routine, so you never run out of things to say.
And when you practice out loud every day, something magical starts to happen. The words stop feeling foreign. They stop feeling like strange, difficult English words. They start feeling natural. They start feeling like your words, like your language. And that is the moment when fluency begins.
Fluency. Let us explain that word. Fluency means the ability to speak a language smoothly and naturally without stopping to think about every single word. Fluency does not mean perfection. You do not have to speak perfectly. Fluency means you can communicate your thoughts and ideas clearly and comfortably.
And the path to fluency starts with simple conversations about simple things. It starts with talking about your morning routine. It starts with describing your breakfast. It starts with saying, I commute to school by bus, or I eat rice and curry for lunch. These tiny sentences are the building blocks of fluency.
Building blocks is a perfect phrase, Abel. When you build a house, you don't start with the roof. You start with one brick, and then another brick, and then another. And slowly, brick by brick, the house rises up. English fluency is exactly the same. One simple sentence at a time, one word at a time, and slowly your English house is built.
I really love that image, one brick at a time, one sentence at a time. I think our listeners should remember that image whenever they feel frustrated with their English learning. Do not look at the whole house and feel overwhelmed. Just focus on placing the next brick. Say the next sentence.
Now, before we close today's episode, let us do a very quick review. Let us go through the key words and phrases we learned today. Abel, can you start?
Of course, we learned wake up. Wake up means to stop sleeping and become conscious. We learned get up. Get up means to physically leave your bed. We learned routine. A routine is a set of actions you do every day in the same order.
We learned commute. A commute is the journey from your home to your work or school. We learned chores. Chores are small jobs you do at home to keep it clean. We learned groceries. Groceries are the food and household items you buy from the market or supermarket.
We learned unwind. To unwind means to relax after a long or stressful day. We learned hobby. A hobby is an activity you enjoy doing in your free time. We learned sleep in. To sleep in means to wake up later than your usual time.
We learned fresh. Fresh means recently made or picked, not old. We learned energy. Energy is the power you need to work and move. And we learned fluency. Fluency is the ability to speak a language smoothly and naturally.
That is a wonderful list of words, and every single one of those words came from just talking about one ordinary day in an ordinary life.
And that's the magic of daily life vocabulary. It's everywhere. It's in everything you do. And when you can describe your daily life in English, you can truly start to have real conversations with real people.
So, here's our challenge for you today, our wonderful listener. In the comments below this video, I want you to write 3 sentences about your day today. Just 3 sentences. Write what time you woke up, write what you ate for breakfast, and write one thing you are going to do this evening.
For example, you might write, I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. I ate appam and stew for breakfast. This evening, I'm going to read my textbook and then watch a movie with my family. 3 simple sentences. You can do it. We believe in you completely.
And we will read your comments. We love seeing your sentences. Every sentence you write is a victory. It's one more brick in your English house, one more step on your English journey.
And that's why this podcast is called The English Journey, because learning English is not a destination. It's a journey. It's something you do every single day, step by step, word by word, sentence by sentence.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like this video. It really helps our channel grow so we can keep making more slow English content for learners just like you. And please subscribe so you never miss a new episode.
We release new episodes every week. Each episode focuses on a different topic in simple, slow, clear English, so you can keep building your vocabulary and your confidence week by week.
And remember, the best way to learn English is to use it every single day, even for just 5 minutes. Describe what you are doing. Narrate your own life. Be your own English commentator.
That is such a wonderful way to put it. Be your own English commentator. I love that. Abel, thank you so much for sharing your daily life with us today. It was so nice to hear about your morning routine, your commute, your work life, and your weekend habits.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you for sharing yours. I think our listeners got to see that 2 people can have very different daily lives, but they can both be described beautifully using the same simple English words. Our days are different, but the language is the same.
That is a perfect note to end on. Our days are different, but the language is the same. And that language belongs to all of us. English belongs to everyone who learns it and uses it. It's not just for people in America or England. It belongs to every student in Kerala, every learner in Tamil Nadu, every young person who dreams of speaking English with confidence and clarity.
So go ahead and dream that dream, and then wake up every morning and work towards it, one simple English sentence at a time.
From me, Anna, and from Abel, thank you so much for listening today. You are wonderful, you are capable, and your English is growing stronger with every single episode you listen to. Keep going, keep practicing, keep speaking.
And we'll see you in the next episode of The English Journey. Until then, take care of yourself, speak English every day, and remember, every expert was once a beginner. You are already on your way.
Goodbye for now. Keep learning, keep growing, and enjoy every single ordinary, beautiful day of your life, because your daily life is your greatest English teacher.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.